Yo, yo, yo. Great morning. Great morning to you all out there, man. Thank you for joining. It is, this month is flying by, man. This year is flying by. This thing it's almost halfway over already. It's June 24th, Thursday morning, 11 o'clock, 11:01. Glad for y'all to join me. Glad for y'all joining me, man. Happy to have you. AB won't be able to make it this morning. Tending to some family issues. Not family issues, but, family things, family business. Obviously, that takes priority. But we'll have him back on Monday. But I'm glad, so happy to have y'all, man. Let me see the comments. It must be under 100 in Florida today. I got a hoodie on. It's only because it's cold in my house. It's actually been gloomy out here in Florida. Summer started off hot. It was real hot last couple weeks, but it's been gloomy, rainy. Haven't even been able to get in the pool, but some crazy things going on around the world, man. Collapse down here in Miami. We had a collapsed condo down there on South Beach, which was crazy. One person passed away. Unfortunately, been a big rescue effort down there. I saw somebody put in the comments earlier, wildfires, tornadoes, collapsed buildings. Just obviously a lot of craziness always going on in the world, man. So hope everybody out there staying safe, taking care of themselves. Once again, man, appreciate y'all for joining me this morning. So before we get into sports talk, obviously playoffs, Ice Trey showed his ass last night. I got some. I'm mad AB actually not here to reel me back in, because y'all know I get caught up in y'all know I get caught up in the moment. And Trey gave us some moments last night. I know hopefully y'all locked into my picks. Y'all been making some money in these playoffs, but we're gonna get to that though. We're gonna get to that Bucks Eastern Conference Finals, Bucks Hawks game, Bucks Hawks series. The Western Conference Finals, Suns up 2-0 over the Clippers. As y'all can probably still hear, I'm still a little congested, still a little under the weather, but I'm here with my people. So Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, some other things going on in sports. But before we do that, if any of y'all follow me on any of the platforms that I'm on, Twitter, Instagram, most active on, y'all know but hold on, because somebody here speaking the gospel, speaking out loud. Renee Borba and Terrence Williams, shout out. I've been loyal supporters of the show. Make sure y'all check out their show as well, Speaking Out Loud. That boy on the heater right now betting. That's what he said. He wouldn't lie to you. But if you follow me on any of my platforms, Twitter, Instagram, I talk more than sports. I love the crypto space. Been in it since 17. The ups, the downs, the headlines, before it got really popping like that. And there's been a lot going on around crypto and Bitcoin in particular. Y'all know I talk about the financial investment market, in the real estate. Mother been in real estate for over 20 years. We have a brokerage down here in Florida, matter of fact, Florida and Georgia. Got a brokerage down here. So if you're an agent looking for a good brokerage, got a good split too. Better than you're going to find around. And if you're somebody looking for some property down here in Florida or Georgia, holla at me, Butler Group. I'll post them, follow them. But anyway, with all that being said, we're going to get to some crypto stuff. I'm going to give y'all a couple nuggets in the crypto space. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in financial. I'm talking about real quick. Bam. And then we're going to get to the sports. So first, crypto, Bitcoin obviously went to a little crash, had a little crash a few days back when it dove back under 30,000. And that's usually when a lot of my people who are bearish on the crypto and on Bitcoin, that's when they hit me up and, hey, man, I told you about this stuff, man. It's some bullshit. It's some this, it's some that. Hey, relax, zoom out, zoom out, see the big picture. So Bitcoin actually entered a couple of days ago what's known in the financial market as the death cross. And it's entered that death cross 7 times since 2010. And in the following 50 days, or the following 50 days, it returned, it gained over average of 34%. So it's not financial advice, just letting y'all know the last 7 times that is this death cross, the next 50 days is gained over average of 34%. Now, obviously, a lot of you don't know what the death cross is. I didn't either. I went and looked it up. What's a death cross? A bearish signal. Bearish, bullish. Bullish is I'm up on the market. I think it's going up. Bearish means I think the market is going down. Bears strike down, bulls strike up. That's how you can remember it. But anyway, death cross, a bearish signal generated when the 50-day or short-term moving average crosses below the 200-day or long-term moving average. So the last 7 times that that's happened, Bitcoin is broken out after. And Bitcoin has been breaking out since the crash, whatever. Anyway, real estate mortgage rates are back up over 3% for the first time since April. A lot of you know, a lot of these mortgages, they were giving out these rates, these you know, you could 1%, 2%. A lot of people have been buying home. The real estate market, homes, real estate market's been going crazy. I believe the median home price that's been sold last year is, I want to say like 400, something ridiculous, up over like 18, 19% than our previous highs. So crazy in the real estate space. Some more financial news. Tesla. So Tesla, I'm bullish on Tesla. Tesla has been struggling for a while now, and it's making some plays a day, making some moves a day, should I say? But I actually just was reading something. I got to read this to you. But yesterday, Tesla is going public with what claims to be the world's 5th most powerful supercomputer. The company's ultimate goal is to rely on cameras alone in lieu of sensors like radar or LiDAR and make vision-only autonomous driving a reality. So that maybe has something to do with what's going on with their stock. Yeah, as Nikita Walker said, super camera. She on it. You on point. You know what I mean? And look, I'm sharing this knowledge because I read a lot. I listen to a lot of people who know they're talking about different spaces, and within my circles, I share it. So shit, y'all my people. You know what I mean? I gotta share it with y'all too. Take it for, you know, entertainment, information, whatever you want to take it as, but I'm just sharing the information. In the sports betting space, if you've been following me as well, you've been seeing me kind of post more of my sports betting picks. You followed me last year during the season. Me and AB were picking, you know, winners every week. And then at like kind of halfway through the season, I started picking against the spread and doing things like that. Definitely going to be a partnership going forward into this next season with a sports book and things along those lines. But I've been posting these picks. I've been on the heater in these playoffs. I watch basketball. I know basketball. I've been passing out free. I think I'm like 5, 6, and 1 in my last 6, 7 picks. But anyway, with that being said, Canada passes legal sports betting. It is expected to be signed into law in the next coming days. That was tweeted a day ago from Roundhill Investments, where I get a lot of my information in the sports betting space. And then DraftKings, FanDuel, they are pushing the Florida ballot initiative to permit commercial statewide mobile gambling. So hopefully it's coming down here to Florida, so we don't have to, you know, do other things to, you know, because everybody gonna be doing it, kind of like weed, you know. It's gonna be legalized in every state. You know, 5 years from now, sports betting and weed will be legal everywhere. So if you're investing in it, now is a good time. If you're in that space at all, it's a good time to start, you know, creating a niche and continuing to do that. But let's get to these sports, man. Before we even get to basketball, man, I'm a casual baseball fan, and I've been seeing them cracking down on the sticky stuff, the pictures. I mean, from the guys, one of my guys that I tend to lean on when it comes to baseball stuff is Ty Schmidt. Shout out to Ty too. Getting married pretty soon here. But Ty, I posted on my Twitter the other day, like, yo, from a casual point of view, you know, because they were checking Matt Scherzer like 3-4 times, like before the game, third inning, fourth inning, and obviously he was frustrated. I think Joe Girardi ended up getting ejected because Max was giving him the stare down. Girardi came out of the dugout. They got DeGrom and just these pictures. I'm just seeing them like looking like they're going through TSA in the middle of a game, and I can't imagine, especially as a pitcher, you know, somebody stopping and doing that to you mid-game, mid-performance. Like that's absolutely wild. So I had to ask, like, yo, this looks crazy from a casual's point of view, like real baseball fans. How do y'all feel about that? And I want to ask you guys too, anybody in the chat. I know my producer Tone, he's actually a former pitcher. Want to hear his thoughts on it too. But you know, we know I grew up in the Royd era. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. Like, I remember vividly, like, and I wasn't even a baseball fan, but I remember trying to tune in, keeping up with the homer, like that. It was crazy. It was crazy, hitting, you know, bombs every night. And it was entertaining. From a casual baseball fan, it was entertaining. Obviously, it was cheating, but I felt like in that era, like, damn near everybody was cheating. But and I feel like, and I'm not sure, but the sticky stuff when it comes to these pictures, I feel like this has been around forever. And for them to implement these rules mid-season, and then for them to be doing the shakedowns, how they're doing it during the game, for me, from my standpoint, it's absolutely ridiculous. Especially these are some of your highest paid, some of, you know, the biggest names in the sport. And it's just crazy. So if the batting averages have been suffering, so like, you know, pitchers have been throwing more strikeouts and all these different things. So I guess this is the game, the MLB trying to even the playing field more, or, you know, they want more runs scored. But Manfred, or whatever his name is, he's not a good look for baseball, because you're talking about it now, but so, you know, people say any publicity is good publicity, but once this blows over, I don't think this will be good long term for baseball. So they have to at least do something about how they're enforcing these rules, in my opinion. But let me see y'all thoughts on it, man. Okay, Zach says it's dumb. Let him spin it. Pitchers dropping their pants on the mounds. Crazy, man. What else? I saw the advertisement. I saw the picture. I don't know if you guys saw that picture, but had like a Gorilla Glue advertisement in the background, which was ironic and funny. Bud says, let him grease it. That was Ty's sentiment too. Like, you know what, let them do their thing. And I think it gives them more control. So, you know, pitchers aren't getting hit. But yeah, they've been striking their ass out, hands in the air. It's been crazy. Every one of them all use steroids. I won't go that far. But yeah, man. That's what we got. So let's get to these playoffs real quick. Man. So before I get to my hot take, the Suns Clippers series, I think that series is all but over. You know, for Suns to come out and hold it down in their home court without Chris Paul, without their leader, Devin Booker, who's been used to leading that team, leading that organization for his first however many years he's been in the league. He put on his back game one. Game two had a good game as well. Had some big shots down the stretch, and obviously they sealed it with that great play that Monty Williams drew up, and that Crowder, Booker, and Ayton executed. I didn't even know the live ball rule, as far as, you know, it couldn't be goaltending on that type of play, on that type of situation. So that was new to me. I feel like I should have known that rule, but even Booker said like Rondo, thought it would be goaltending as well. So I think that's one of those things that doesn't happen that often. So a lot of people forget about it. But amazing job by Monty Williams, who was my coach of the year pick, who I think should have won that. Great job by him drawing that up. Great job by the players executing. Paul George, he's been playing well since Kawhi went down, but for him to come down and miss those 2 free throws, man, I think it's gonna be tough for him to bounce back from that. I think it's gonna be tough for Paul to bounce back from that. I really do. And then I think Chris Paul is supposed to make his return tonight for the Suns. So I think that one's over. I think that one's over in 5 at best. I think it's over in 5. Yeah, I think when they get back to Phoenix, they close that one out. But Paul missing both free throws down the line. Suns did everything they needed to do down the stretch to execute it. They were favored by 4.5. I picked the Clippers to cover. They did. I have the Suns covering tonight. Suns are favored by 1.5. During this playoff, during these previous series, when the Clippers went down 0-2, both series, they went down 0-2 to Dallas. And then what was it? 0-2 to Dallas, and then 0-2 to the Jazz. And they were able to come back. Kawhi was still there at that point. Paul George actually had his best games in game 3s of both of those series. So Paul George may have a bounce back game this tonight, but I don't see this Suns team losing with Chris Paul coming back into the lineup. So Chris Paul in the lineup, I'm taking the Suns to cover a 1.5 spread. So they win the game and cover the 2-point spread. Woo! Get rid of this damn cough, man. And no, it's not. It's not the. But it is annoying. But yeah, man. And then something else, man. These coaches that are left. You got Monty Williams. You got Monty Williams with Phoenix Suns. You got Ty Lue with the Clippers, who's done an amazing job this season, these playoffs. You got Nate McMillan out there in Atlanta. And then obviously you got Bud in Milwaukee. So 3 out of the final 4, you got black head coaches, which I think is incredible, man. And, just keep giving those guys a fair opportunity. And I'm sure more guys and women will continue to rise to the top. But I love the diversity. I love people getting their fair shake at it. And you seeing what can be done when a fair chance is given. But I got the Suns winning that series. I picked the Suns coming out of the West, going into the playoffs. I picked them before the playoffs even started. I picked them to be they were matched up with the Lakers to beat them. I obviously picked them to beat the Nuggets. And now I'm picking them to beat the Clippers. And I don't see the Hawks or the Bucks being able to beat them in the finals. So I'm taking the Suns, the Phoenix Suns, led by Chris Paul and Devin Booker to win an NBA championship this year. That's wild. That's crazy. On the other side, though, hold on. Let me see some of these comments before I move to the other side, to the Eastern Conference. And it is, this playoffs, with all the stars that have been out, obviously we missed Jamal Murray, we missed AD for part of it. We missed we're missing Kawhi right now. Steph didn't make it. We're missing stars left and right. And for all these stars to be, obviously Kyrie when he went out, James Harden, he wasn't himself. Just a lot of guys, a lot of the household names been banged up or out, and it's still been a phenomenal playoffs. Phenomenal playoffs, man. I can't say it enough. I've enjoyed it. I've been watching every night. Really, I probably missed a couple games, but I pretty much watched damn near every game. Those late ones, I kind of get a little sleep. I be having one eye open sometimes, and 10 o'clock starts early on in the playoffs. But I've seen them for the most part, and just an incredible playoff so far. But let me see. Tone Gang, I feel for PG. He had a mental breakdown in the bubble too. Yeah, he PG came out and spoke, he spoke candidly about some issues that he was having mentally in the bubble. And I think I mentioned it last episode when me and AB were talking about the bubble and the vaccines and things like that. And even like the NFL, they weren't technically in a bubble last year, but they had a lot of restrictions, a lot of testing, et cetera, et cetera. And just like people outside of sports dealing with the overall the pandemic, like it was taxing on a lot of people mentally. It was something completely different that we all had to adjust to. And I personally went through my different things, my different I wouldn't say it was depression or anything like that, but you just deal with things mentally. You're in the house, and fortunately for me, I was surrounded by family and my kids, but I could imagine literally being in a bubble and then going to perform. Bubble, go perform. Bubble, go perform. I can imagine what type of mental stress that can put on you. But talking about this year and hopefully he's able to bounce back, because even this year he was struggling early in the playoffs, and then he kept shooting, he kept at it, and he kind of broke through. And then when the most pressure was on him, when Kawhi went down, he stepped up and played his best playoff basketball. So happy to see that from Paul George. Missing those 2 free throws were huge. I think tonight will be big, not only for his mental, but for his teammates, his coaches, and the confidence that they have in him, the fan base. It's going to be a big night for him, and that mental part of it is a part of what comes, with sports. But definitely root for Paul, and everybody else. But even speaking with guys that played football last year, like it was, guys were going through some shit. Guys and women were going through some shit, like we all were. So I hope everybody's been dealing with those things, man. But what else we got, man? Playoffs been fire. Shout out. So this is my guy Pat. This is my dog Pat. And I gotta start a podcast with my boys, because our group chats, our conversations, our arguments, I usually see them the next day or so on one of these networks. But we have some debate. So my hot take this morning, or last night actually, because y'all know damn I need AB here, but y'all know it's my bracelet too. My daughter made my bracelet. Shout out Callie. But y'all know I get caught up in the moment. I meant to keep scrolling through these comments, but I gotta get to this Eastern Conference Finals. So I jumped in the chat last night after the Hawks game. Now let me know in the comments if y'all watched that Hawks-Bucks game. But I jumped in my group chat last night. I'm like, hey, actually I had one of my brothers first. I just had one with my brothers. Got 5 brothers. And then I went right into the one with my dogs. And I said, hey, I love Dame. I love Luka. I love a lot of these guys. Steph. Let me know. Okay, Dave watch. Hawks and 4 watch. Okay. I love all these guys, right? But if you made me rank my top 3 point guards right now in the league, now this is not, I wouldn't include LeBron James in this, even though he is a point guard now. Trey, Ice Trey the game. He number 2. I can't put him over Steph. Steph is 1 for me. I think he showed himself to be the most valuable player in the league this year with that team, even though they didn't make the playoffs. They made the play-in, lost. But with that roster was hot. And I mean hot garbage. So Steph is in his own class, right? Steph is in his own class. And then for me, Now James Harden, he's one of them. He's a combo guard. I mean, you could call him a point guard. If he's in there, I'll probably put James at maybe two, but I'm excluding James Harden, excluding LeBron James. Trey got to be second for me. And I know caught up in the moment, right? He just dropped 48, 11, and 6, 5 or 6 on the Bucks on the road, game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. But it's the Eastern Conference Finals, dog. So Dame, let's say most people put Dame in that 2 spot. I would have had Dame in that 2 spot. During this season, you were asking, damn, is Dame better than Steph? Come on, landscaper. Is Dame better than Steph? Hold on, man. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I got to holler at Poppy real quick. Bobo! Bobby! Nope, ain't gonna work. You gotta do a job. Everybody got a job to do, right? All right. So anyway, Dame would have been 2. But I haven't seen Dame do this. I haven't seen Dame put a team on his back and carry him to the Eastern Conference Finals. I haven't seen a lot of people do this, honestly. Bron, AI. After that, now I'm not saying this roster is a bad roster. I actually picked in my group chat, I actually picked the Hawks going to the finals. And was it after the last playoffs? I told my dog Pat, I said, Pat, hey, Greek Freak not gonna win the championship. But if Greek Freak were to go to them Hawks and you put Trey and Greek Freak together, nobody's beating them 2 together. And I told him, he's like, oh no, you tripping. Greek don't nah. I still believe that, but I'm always right before everybody else, so I ain't tripping. But anyway, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen these players. Nobody had the Atlanta Hawks, including me, in the Eastern Conference Finals, up 1-0 at that. So you can say what you want. I saw Drew Holiday was guarding Trey last night. The same Drew Holiday that 3-4 years ago swept Dame Lillard, was picking him up 94 feet. And like I said, I love Dame Lillard, superstar. He's carried that Portland franchise. And I know he's in the West. But what Trae Young doing out here, man? If Trae Young dunked, I saw I retweeted today. If Trae Young dunked, we'll be saying Trae Young is the best player in the NBA right now. I'm not gonna go that far. But whew, we're gonna have to revisit this conversation where AB is here to but maybe he might agree with me. Who knows? And once again, I picked going into that game, the Bucks were favored by 8 points. Game 7 of the 76ers series, Trey just beat a 1 seed on the road in their house after going to Madison Square Garden and becoming the villain and beating that team. This is first trip in the playoffs, mind you. He was 7-point underdog in game 7. He was an 8-point underdog in game 1. And me and Pat bet something on that as well because he thought that the Bucks will cover. He will actually be they are disrespectful. He's an 8-point underdog tomorrow. So I'm picking the Hawks again to cover that 8. Bucks may win. I thought the Bucks would win last night, honestly. But Trey will cover that. I don't know why they keep disrespecting him. He's one of the toughest players in the league to guard. Unstoppable in the pick and roll. The floater is unstoppable. He's not shooting the 3 as good as he was when he first came in the league. I honestly didn't like a lot of the shot selection late in the 4th, those deep 3s. But his vision is crazy. And he's carrying that Atlanta Hawks team, carrying that Atlanta Hawks roster. Nate McMillan has done a phenomenal job coaching. He should get it back. John Collins has done a phenomenal job. I just call him ball hawking. Like he dominates the air. Like his timing, his effort. Herder, Red Velvet. He's doing his thing when called upon. Capella, what he had, 18, 19 boards. Man, when people know their roles, it's a beautiful thing. I still think if I had to pick one of those teams to win the series, Bucks or Hawks, you know what, man? Yep, I'm going to say it. Yep, I'm going to say it. And I had the Bucks in 5 going into the series, but I don't think I told anybody else that. Hawks in 6. Hawks in 6. Yep, I said it. Hawks in 6. Red Velvet was a bucket in Maryland. They call him he said his alter ego is Kavan. He said that's what his teammates call him when he getting buckets. Kavan. So we'll see if Kavan continues to show up. But they already stole one on the Bucks home floor, and now you taking that back down to the A. Come on, man. Did y'all watch the game last night? This dude threw an alley off the glass in a half-court set. Do you know how disrespectful that is against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, one of the longest teams, pause, in the NBA? You come off a pick, you throw an alley off the glass in a half-court set, and then the next possession or two, you come down. Hey. Come on, man. Y'all stop it, man. Y'all stop it, man. I don't know if y'all was watching it, what I was watching. Maybe my TV, maybe my shit may be a little too high red. Because I was seeing some shit that, come on, man. And this is the problem with the Bucks. 4.6 seconds left. You down 3. And your best player on the team, 2-time MVP, is a non-factor. Like, we're not worried about Greek Freak with 4.6 seconds on the left on the clock, and it's a 3-point game. I can't bet on that guy. I can't. I bet on him to beat the Nets in that game 7. I told you this heater been going on for a minute. I bet on him to win that game just because that team, Middleton and Drew, they don't show up together every, you know what I mean? If that big 3, Drew, Middleton, and Greek Freak showed up every night. Greek Freak shows up every night. Middleton, he's off and on. Drew, he was their best player last night on the offensive end. Got baked. He was baked chicken on the defensive end. But he showed up on offense, dropped a 30 clip. But all 3 of them don't show up. That Atlanta Hawks team, they know their role, and they're going to show up every night. They've been the underdogs. They've been slept on. And when that shit get back down to the A, with Quavo them on the sideline, yeah, buddy. I can't wait to see Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Trae Young in the finals. That's going to be fun to watch. But yeah, so if Greek Freak wants to win a ring, take your ass out there to Atlanta. Take your ass out there to Atlanta. Now, if he goes on and wins his ring this year, I'll shut up. And I'll go back to this video. We'll bring it up, and I'll post it and say, hey, I was dead ass wrong. But if Greek Freak want a ring, go join Luka in Dallas or Trae in Atlanta. Like, I don't think he's gonna win. Like, you can't shoot. Your best player can't shoot. Your best player can't shoot. That's a big part of the game, especially today's. That's a huge part of the game. He can't shoot. 4.6 seconds left on the clock. Down 3. This guy's a non-factor. Warriors, that'd be woo. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, he got to get some pose, man. My dog Pat say he ain't in the gym enough. At least he works. I don't think Ben Simmons works on his game like that. I can see that Greek Freak works. He works on his game. He works on his physique. He's improved passing. He's improved ball handling. He's stronger than he was coming into the league. But you got to develop a consistent jump shot. Get some post moves. Work on that footwork. But yeah, he needs a bat, man. He needs a bat. And I know it sounds crazy talking about a 2-time MVP like that, but and he earned those MVP awards. I got no problem with the numbers he put up in the regular season, how he dominates in the regular season, what he's done from day one he's coming into the league to now. I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible. His story, his brother, his family, everything he's been through is amazing. I just think he needs his bat, man. Hawks in 6, Suns in 5. We're gonna get a Suns Hawk finals. And he also needs to, one more thing on Giannis. You got to take that challenge on the defensive end. At the end of the game, fourth quarter, whatever crucial moments, you got to be able to, hey, I got him. I'm defensive player of the year. I got him, coach. Like, that's a part of it too. Like, I got him. That dude got 35 right now, KD. I got him, coach. Like, that has to be part of it. But yeah, Giannis. So Tone. Hold on. I tried to click on your comment. It won't show. Is my connection straight? It's cool, right? Let me show the comments anymore. But Tone Gaines said Giannis just beat KD though. And then Tone also said KD can't be top 5. I disagree with that statement. Giannis did beat KD, but once again, KD, he didn't have his team. And KD, like that team, KD, he's a phenomenal scorer, one of the best scorers we've ever seen. He's still in my top 5. And let me just revisit that top 5 real quick, because when I made my top 5 list, this was the top 5 players that I've seen do it. And I mean, when I was like of age, right? So I'm 35 years old. I was 12 when I saw Michael Jordan win his last championship in '98. But I saw Michael. I got an older brother that's 5.5 years older than me, and Mitch, big bro. He made me watch basketball. Like, my first favorite player was James Worthy. Like, I was watching basketball, football from a very young age. So I watched MJ. I watched Kobe, LeBron, Steph, KD, Shaq, and AI, let's go, Dwayne Wade, all these all-time great players. My top 5 that I've watched was Mike, Bron, Kobe, Steph, KD. That was my top 5. Now, all 5 of those players can't carry a team by themselves. And that's why I bumped Trey up to where I bumped him in the league right now, because he's carrying this Hawks team. KD just showed you he can't do it, not with that roster. He can do his very best, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't even get past, he couldn't get past Giannis. Kobe couldn't do it by himself. Jordan couldn't do it by himself. To keep it a buck, Steph, we haven't seen him do it by himself. Clay is one of the best two-way players, has been for a while now. So Bron is the only guy I've seen that top 5 who can really put that shit on his back and say, I'm going to the finals 9 years in a row. Like, off top 5 are not created. Tim Duncan, I wouldn't say. Van said Tim Duncan. For some reason, I don't know why I can't pin these comments, but Van said Tim Duncan. I wouldn't say Tim Duncan was by himself. He came in, he had David Robinson there. Then you put Tony Parker, Hall of Fame, Manu. I wouldn't say by himself. But, I mean, nobody can win alone. It's, nobody can win alone. But KD's still top 5. All right, I'm going to take a little break. Minute. Ooh, Dirk. Somebody said Dirk. Ooh, Dirk. Damn. That was a good team. That was a really good team. But Dirk beat a super team. I'll come back to that. Allen put, like I said, I mentioned AI. AI put that shit on his back, got him to the finals too. But I'll be back. Give me a minute. Drop some comments. Whatever y'all want to talk about for the next 20 minutes. Maybe this. Must be this lightning, cuz. Ooh. I'll be right back. Here we are. We're back. Still here. Appreciate y'all for rocking. Not a Zito production. And not great weather at all today out here. Woo! Had some thunderstorms and some storming going on around here. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. All right, now settle down now. That thunder and lightning, but I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. But yeah, my satellite was knocked out probably 10, 15 minutes before the internet just had a little glitch. All right now. But yeah, I'm still seeing these comments. I know we're talking about guys who put the team on their backs. And that Dirk one, yeah. That can't say nothing about it. Man, tell y'all what. This Javier, he not look, this South Florida, man. This South Florida. So this that it'll be sunny and bright outside in probably 12 minutes. That's just how it is. Yeah, I know y'all heard that one. It's real out here, but yeah, this it's South Florida. It's hurricane season approaching as well. So we're having some thunderstorms. I think it was a thunderstorm the other night. It's a part of it down here, man. You know, we don't get blizzards and earthquakes and monsoons. And I remember the first dust storm I saw when I was out in Phoenix. I was actually on the plane. Might have been a team. We might have went out to Arizona to play a game, and we landed, and I forgot what they're called. But they're like, oh, that's a whatever. And I'm like, I'm looking out the window like, hold on, that shit like it's getting closer, cuz. You sure that's supposed to? And that, what is it called? I forgot what they call them. Somebody tell me what they call those things in out west. I guess it's in the desert. But but anyway, let me see what y'all talking about, man. Yeah, now y'all, you can't help me with this down here. Yeah, that's thunder. That thunder don't play. Thunder and that lightning. But nah, he ain't cutting the grass in the weather hobby. He out of there. He back in the truck. Probably taking down a brewski right now. And AB is good. He'll be back with us on Monday. Just had a 10-2A family matter. And boom. Let's see what you got. Okay, I can see it. Somebody said they make an edit for the commercial break. Tone, most underrated corner or safety that I saw play. Most underrated. I was always a big fan of Kareem Jackson. He came into the league as a first round pick out of Bama, started as an outside corner, then was playing kind of both outside and inside, and now he is a safety. I think he's going maybe his 4th or 5th year as a safety. It being that I made those transitions myself, I know how tough it is to go from wearing one hat to the other, and the way that he's played, the level of his play over the span of time that he's been in the league. I don't think Kareem Jackson is talked about enough. So I would say we were in the same division. He was in Houston. I was in Indy for 6 years. So I got to see him play a lot firsthand. So Kareem Jackson would probably be the answer to that question. Most underrated corner or safety I saw play. Yeah, I would definitely say he falls in that category. Now he's out in Denver, and I think he makes up, help make up one of the best secondaries in the league, or one of the secondaries I expect to be the best in the league, with him, Kyle Fuller, Justin Simmons at the other safety position, and then you got they just drafted Pat Surtain, the second, in the first round. So I think under Vic Fangio, you're getting Von Miller and Bradley Chubb up front, rushing that passer again. Whew, that could be an ugly defense. What are the questions? Michael Ward, what's life like on the practice squad? I never personally was on the practice squad. But for players on the practice squad, I mean, you basically do you do everything everybody else does. That the active squad does. Obviously, the pay is different. Still making good money. But you practice, you go out there and you're on the scout team. So if I'm a cornerback on the practice squad, and let's say I'm one of those guys who, could be on the thing about the practice squad is you got to stay ready because you get an injury at any point, you're called up. You're not getting any practice reps, any I guess real practice reps as far as your team. Because like if I'm on the Colts, we have our playbook, we have our system, we have our communication, our verbiage. And the only time that the practice squad players are getting those type of things are in meetings and walkthroughs, maybe in the off season, not really during the season, because the guys that's getting the reps are the guys that's going to play. But if a guy gets hurt, or say two guys get hurt, and now that practice squad player has to go in and maybe play, or sometimes I've seen it, a guy got to go in and be a starter. And if you ain't been on your shit, week 1 through 6, because a lot of coaches not going to be, holding practice squad. Not a lot of mediocre coaches, the good coaches, they will hold everybody in that room accountable, from the practice squad guy to the starter. But a lot of coaches that you don't really have time for it, right? So it's on you to hold yourself accountable, to be on top of your checks and on top of this and on top of that, so that when you get thrown in that fire, you keep the train going. And that's when you see guys who get that opportunity, they step into that role and they can handle it mentally and physically, because it's not that much difference, honestly, a lot of times physically between the guys that's on that practice squad and the guys that's on the active roster. The biggest difference a lot of times is the mental capacity. Like, how much can you handle mentally? Can you perform over and over and over and over again and be consistent? A lot of those guys on the practice squad can be really, really good in short streaks, or maybe have a really good day in practice or a really good game. Can you come back and do it again? Can you come back and do it again? Can you come back and do it again? Can you adjust to a different game plan? Can you keep up with all the different moving parts that go into playing the game on that level? And that's usually the difference. But you still work out the same. You go same facility, same locker room, same practice. It's just when. So if the Colts are playing the Texans, now you have to go out. If I'm a cornerback, I got to go out and be, Jonathan Joseph or Kareem Jackson that week. And I have to do what they do to give my offense a good look, and vice versa. You got a receiver will have to be DeAndre Hopkins or whoever, another Andre Johnson for that week to give us the look, so that we know going into the game, okay, Deron Carter may have had that 10 jersey on all week. And we know, okay, when 10 is here, when 10 is there, when 10 is there, this is what they do. When 10 is at the X, this is what they do. When 10 is in the slot, this is what they do. So once we get in the game, we're still used to, okay, 10's over here, this is the coverage you're running. 10's over here, this is the coverage you're running this side. So that's what the practice squad is. And then some guys you can be brought up to the active squad and drop back to the practice, up and back. But it gives teams people to kind of bring up, and maybe you sign a guy on the practice squad for a couple of years, and then they turn it. Like Darren Waller was a practice squad guy for years, and then he kind of got some of his things that he was going through personally together, was able to do some more things mentally, because physically he was always gifted. Anybody that I talked to that played with him on the same team was like, hey, that was a dude in practice. He's killing us in practice, but just some of those guys can't put it together. And once he did, you become a different animal. But yeah, that's practice squad. My closest experience to that was red shirt in college, and that was when you do everything except, play on Sundays. What else, man? What else? Boo, 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 boo. Nakiba Walker, what do you think about Keon Johnson's 48-inch vertical at the NBA draft combine? How insane is that? Honestly, I'm not that impressed. Honestly, if you want my honest answer, maybe you're asking the wrong person. Because if you watch how the NBA does their vertical jump testing, they get to run up and then jump. And anybody that's done anything athletic knows when you get a running start or even a gather step, it gives you much more momentum and kinetic energy going into that. So obviously you're going to be more explosive and jump higher. So I've seen guys at my combine, the 2009 combine, Donald Washington out of Ohio State was a corner. He jumped 45-inch vert, and that's from a standing position. So you're standing and they don't let you shuffle your feet, jump like in nothing. I jumped at 43 at the combine, and they made me jump a couple more times. I had higher jumps, but because I like shuffle my feet or move my feet, that that's what they said, I had to re-jump. So coming from that standing position and just exploding up is much tougher than getting a running start or a gather step with the jump. So he broke the record. But I mean, if we did our verticals like that in football, it'll be guys jumping in the 50s. It'll be guys jumping in the 50s for sure. Impressive, great number. I'm actually surprised. Well, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised that was their number with the way that they test. But they do have a lot of tall guys, 6'7", 6'9", 6'10", so you don't have to jump 45 inches off the ground. So, but it's amazing. But like I said, that momentum, I'm personally not that damn impressed. But that momentum is a huge game changer. Huge. What else we got, man? And Michael Ward responded to my answer. He said that sounds hard as hell. Thanks, D. But and I agree with you. It is tough. It's tough to be a practice squad player because it's tough to. I'm gonna say it's your job actually. But it is hard it's hard to get the mental reps and to not get the physical reps and to not really get the attention from the coaches. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of practice squad guys not going to be raising their hand and asking questions and not disrupting, but, in a meeting. So unless someone else in that meeting asks a question and gets corrected on it, you probably may not get corrected on something you got a question on. Once again, unless you have a great coach who goes into the attention to detail and make sure that everybody in that room is more than prepared. Van Albright, is Deshaun Watson playing this year? I honestly, I don't have any information on what's going with him legally, so I can't say. If I had to place a bet, gun to head, I don't even know if you can even say if that's even politically correct to say anymore. But if I had to place a bet, I would say yes. He plays at some point in the season, maybe after the 8-game mark, but I would say yes. Deshaun Watson plays in the NFL this season, if I had to place a bet, but I don't know. Boom, 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 boom. Dave K, how often is an NFL player doing a vert standing still? Or on the football field, never. Just like you're not, running 40 yards straight a lot of times on the football field, but it gives everyone kind of the same baseline, the same, all things equal. So that way, if I'm testing somebody to do something, I can say, okay, everybody did it from a standing position. So it's easier for me to say. But if you say running, I mean, if everybody's doing it from running, it gives you the same, sample, I guess. But I would rather do a test for running. Obviously, I want a higher number, and we're going to be moving on the field. I'm with you there. But I understand why they do it. Tone Gaines, which sport has the best pure athletes? Ooh, that's tough. I mean, honestly, I've been around some great soccer athletes that play soccer. I've been around some great athletes that play basketball. I mean, maybe I'm biased. I'll say football. Explosiveness, quickness. Basketball is impressive just because of how tall these guys are, and to have the coordination and the movement and the hand-eye coordination, hit shots and timing and things like that. But if I had to pick one, I would say football. Update on Malik Hooker. Malik just became a dad. Number one, first and foremost, just became a dad. He's healthy. He's working. He's visited some teams. He's got some teams on his radar. He's on some teams' radar. I expect him to be signed before the season. Obviously, coming off an Achilles injury, it's a process, and you can't skip steps along that process. And I've been talking with Malik, been working with Malik on his recovery process. If somebody's going to get a good player, man, a really good player with a lot of road ahead of him, and they'll probably get him for a good 1-year deal. And I think it'll be for both sides. And then he's got to stay healthy, obviously, which is not something you just say out there, hey, I want to stay healthy. You know, he's got to put the work in, which he is, on what it takes to stay healthy. And you got to be fortunate. It's a violent game. Things happen. A lot of things unavoidable. But if he gets out there, signs with a team, stays healthy, I see Malik having a long, productive, high-earning career ahead of him. So Dallas will be a good spot for him, I think. Some other teams that he's been talking to. But I'll let Malik speak on that when he's ready. But I've seen Malik do some special things that I've seen very, very few people do with my own eyes. So special talent. Hockey, I don't know about hockey athletes. I've heard hockey takes some skills, some endurance to carry that pads. Watching it, I watch a little more hockey now. Love the sport. Very impressive. For them to do what they do on skates is impressive. I'm still giving football players the edge. Do. All right, got time for one more question, man. One more question before I get up out of here and up under this desk for a tornado drill. Once again, man, I'm taking the Suns to cover that 1.5 point spread, so y'all are getting it at 12 o'clock. I'll get my picks at 12 o'clock. I'll probably post it on my stories and Twitter a couple hours before tip-off. Boom, boom, boom. If we What else we got? Oh, Chris Smith. Shout out to Chris. What's your thoughts on the big man matchup in both series? So on the Eastern, Giannis and Capella, but I kind of considered Collins a big man too. Like, I feel like Collins and Capella, they won that matchup game one, and being that it's two of them, and I feel like it's kind of 2-on-1 because I feel like Lopez is kind of a pseudo big man on the offensive side. He's spot up in the corner a lot of times. So I would say the big man matchup in that Bucks-Hawks series right now is in the Hawks' favor. And then the Suns, I think Ayton, the Suns-Clippers, Ayton is the best big man left in the playoffs right now because of the role that he plays and the pieces around him, and he just has to be a big man and dominate that paint area. He did it in the Lakers series, obviously against Joker. Joker MVP gonna get his, and then I think he's gonna do it in this series. He's been incredibly efficient this whole playoff run. He just obviously his confidence is going to be on a super high after finishing the game the way he did last time in the last game. And then I love how he plays the game. Chris Paul and he's gonna set him up, put him in the right positions. So obviously it's leaning in the Suns' favor. So Suns on the Western Conference, and then with Collins and Capella doing their respective roles for the Hawks, I'm gonna give the edge to the Hawks there. And those also the two teams I got in the finals now. Suns, Hawks. Hawks in 6, Suns in 5. Tonight, We got Suns at Clippers. The Suns are favored by 1.5. I'm taking the Suns. Tomorrow, we have Hawks at Milwaukee. I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks to cover the 8-point spread, which I think is a ridiculous spread again. The last two spreads, 7 and 8, they both covered against the Sixers and the Bucks. FanDuel keep giving away that money, and these other sports books, y'all keep taking it. But I'm about to get out of here, man. X Factor, man. It's Drew Holiday and Middleton. Those are the X Factor. They show up every night. Nobody should be able to beat that Milwaukee team, but on the Hawks shouldn't be able to beat them at least. They don't show up every night. Michael Ward, what team would you come out of retirement for right now? Absolutely no team. No team. You're talking about some type of investment team or something. Oh, by the way, man, remember what I told you about Bitcoin? I'm still bullish on it going forward. Still bullish on crypto long-term overall. And investing, man. If you're getting into investing, please do your research, do your due diligence. From my opinion, this is not investment advice. But if you're going to get in the game, get into it with a long-term mindset, not a let me get in. It's a lot of things that's been happening, especially in this last year plus, with this crazy bull market and the crypto and the stock space where people just want to get in and think they can flip. Oh, I put in 200, I put in 500, I flip it to 1,000, I flip it to this. That's not usually how it happens. Most people end up holding the bag pretty soon after, especially if you stick with those fundamentals over long term. My advice would be buy into companies or assets that you believe in, that you understand, that you continually update and learn about, and hold them long term and let time do its thing. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I'm out. Update on the Patreon. So after talking with the Patreon partners, they advised me that it's best to start the Patreon at the beginning of the month as opposed to the middle of the month like I was going to do. So first week of July, coming right off the 4th of July weekend, that's when the Patreon will be launched. And Nakiba, since you keep asking about this Patreon, which I love, I want you to let me know what the next subject. I start out, my first video will be a 2-minute video. I posted a little clip. I'll repost that. So you let me know what you want to see next, what you would like to learn about next, because you asked about it. So I appreciate that. So that's the update on Patreon. And as soon as you let me know what's next, what you want me to cover next, I'm out of here. But yeah, after speaking with the people there, they told me, hey, these are best practices. So in launching this Patreon page, I want to use best practices. So we'll be starting that at the beginning of the month. And yeah, and that'll be fun, man. It'll be they gave me a whole rundown. They got the merch. They make the merch a lot easier. They make it a very community to where we'll be able to have conversations just amongst patrons. So it votes, early access discounts on merch and videos and live streams, with me in the film room watching. It's gonna be dope, man. I'm looking forward to that. Chris, let me know those ideas too, man. I'm always got an ear open to your ideas, man. So let me know, Chris, Nakiba. Let me know. All right, you're gonna tweet me. David, I have been spot on. Take this +8 next game with the Hawks. And then the Suns by 1.5 tonight. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all. Me and AB will be back on Monday. I really appreciate you guys tuning in today, even through this thunderstorm that knocked me out for about 5 minutes. Y'all hold it down. I'm out of here. Boop, boop. Somebody actually show that Virgil Abloh book. It's a dope gift I got, but I'll show y'all next episode. But it's some dope things in here, but they go through all the different Yada the Meeskis. You know what I mean? I mean, all these, you know, seeing all these, this shit when I come back. I'm out of here. Bye.